Welcome, everyone. Good morning, folks. Come on in if you're towards the back. There's some seats in the front. Are you good with that? Welcome, everyone. Come on in. Please grab some seats. I see we are out of seats. Good morning, all, and welcome to Vertex. Thank you, Mayor Wu, for being here. I'm going to introduce the mayor in just a couple of minutes. I wanted to start, however, with a little bit of an overview of workforce development in general and as it pertains to the biopharmaceutical space and to Vertex. In the room here today, you have students actually across the road, or across the hall, as it were, from one of our Boston Public Schools. They're here in the labs. They're in 9th grade, and they're learning about science and medicine and possible careers in the biopharmaceutical industry, and they're in 9th grade. In the room here, you have graduates. We have 3 graduates from the Boston Public School System who were with us in the learning labs and grew up with us and have come back to be employees. We have 24 students here from the Year Up program who are young adults who have come through an internship, who have worked with the Year Up group, and now are full-time employees here at the company. And we have about 36 students who are here from Bunker Hill Community College. Just one community college, Bunker Hill Community College. And we'd love more Boston Public School students. We'd love to have more Year Up students. We'd love to have more community college students here. But the reason I say all this is that workforce planning starts early. It starts with everyone believing that they too can have a good, high-paying job in a sector like biotechnology, where not only do you do good work, but you help people. And it starts with a city like Boston and a mayor like Mayor Wu. So welcome to all of you. We're delighted to have you here. Biotech and Boston are synonyms of each other. Our industry in this area is growing, and as a CEO of a biotech company, I can tell you that all of this work that we do with regard to workforce planning is entirely and completely selfish. We cannot do the work we do if we don't have talented, skilled people, this kind of ecosystem, the kinds of community leaders who have joined here today, and have a mayor who is so extraordinarily focused on workforce development. With that, I'll turn it over to Mayor Wu. Welcome again to all of you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Reshma, for hosting us here today, and to your entire team. And thank you for all of your leadership in helping Boston show the way, not just in what we deliver in this industry, but how we bring everyone into this industry and what that represents on a global scale. It's always thrilling to be with colleagues at Vertex and from around the city and from all of the various parts of our life sciences ecosystem. We are here at the kind of physical embodiment of what it means to be at the pinnacle of global leadership in life sciences. That is how Boston is seen around the world. And yet, if you go just a mile, 2 miles from here into our neighborhoods, sometimes there's not a sense of recognition or belonging or ownership of the benefits of this industry, the life-saving innovation and ways that we are impacting the whole rest of the world, and also the direct wealth creation that this means for our residents and our families. And so it's been such a joy and privilege to partner with this amazing group. We'll get into many more of the individual partners in a little bit, but to really take a stand, not just that we are going to continue to be leaders globally in life sciences, but that we are going to lead the way globally in what it means for everyone to be a part of this industry and all the benefits that it represents. And so there are many, many people who have been working with the city and even before our administration for a long time. I want to just thank and recognize a few of them before we get into some exciting news. In addition to Reshma's leadership, Stacia McNaught has been absolutely fundamental and foundational for our work. Standing, of course, on the side. Thank you for all that you do. There are many folks here from City Hall. I will name just a few of them just to give a sense of the breadth of our engagement across all different cabinets and departments in the city as well. Our Chief of Worker Empowerment, Trin Nguyen, is in the house. And she's here with several members of our team, of her team and ours in the Office of Workforce Development, Katie Gall, Sarah Sarui, and Shanique Joseph. Thank you, thank you. Behind so many of the big initiatives that the city's working on is our Chief of Policy, Mike Firestone. We're also joined by Stephen Chan, who's a Senior Advisor for Partnerships for the city. Alexandra Valdez, our Director of Cultural Affairs, who has been a key part of making sure that this initiative and all the early planning stages got to where we are today. Thank you for all that you do. And I'm looking around to see if who else okay, there are many more folks in the room, and so just shout out to everyone on the city side. And I want to recognize just a few of our friends and partners in the innovation and education sectors who are here and who have been a key part of what we are doing as well. So some of these partners joined us as we stepped across the road or the hall to the Thomas M. Menino Learning Lab. It's always just an important reminder for me when I hear the name of my mentor and former boss, Mayor Menino, and to recognize the impact in all of the boardrooms and also at scale in every street and every block in the city. And this is now a very long-standing commitment that Vertex has had, and you already see it bearing fruit in the names and the leaders that are in this room today. We are so grateful for this partnership with the Boston Public Schools to create opportunities for our young people to get those hands-on experiences in a state-of-the-art biotech lab in a beautiful space. I had asked some of the students what has surprised them or what sticks out. They mentioned how much being in an environment that from every little detail of the facilities just reminds you that we are focused on technology and focused on learning is really important, and we have some work to do when it comes to our Boston Public Schools facilities on that front. They also just exude a sense of comfort and confidence being in these spaces. I grew up, my dad's a scientist, and I grew up being taken occasionally to different labs and had always had this feeling of needing to just keep my hands at my side, don't touch anything, don't break anything. And even walking into that room, I saw everyone with their pipettes and working in very kind of intricate spaces, trying to develop the skills. And I said, what happens if you mess up? And they just said, you just suck it back up and you keep going. So they're way past that point and already feel like this is completely their space, their field, their future. And so for that, we are incredibly grateful. I want to recognize, as referenced, some of the BPS graduates who are here, who've been able to join us from their journey through our Boston Public Schools, through sometimes internships at Vertex, and now here as an example and a model of what it means to open the doors for our young people. Kevin Duong, Jamisha Sinatus, and Saeed Shah. Where are you all? Okay. Thank you for not only staying in Boston, helping to continue to build our city, but for the work that you're doing to reach back out and make sure that more young people are following right in your footsteps. We are so grateful to you for your example. Last June, I was at the Bio International Convention with Kendall and with Jim and many of the folks in this room, where we had the honor of being with leaders around the world to discuss the future of their biotech companies and the future of the life sciences industry. We heard over and over again that this is an industry that will need thousands of more workers everywhere. And Boston, as the world leader here, will be ready to meet that demand. That day at Bio International, we launched our Life Sciences Workforce Initiative for the city, a commitment to establish a pipeline between our communities and the life sciences industry. with a specific goal to connect 1,000 Boston residents to career opportunities in this powerhouse life sciences sector by the end of 2025. And in our administration, we know that it's way more than just speaking a goal into existence. There is a whole lot of work that has to happen to analyze and dismantle every possible barrier, to reach out to community, bring all of our leaders on the ground with the relationships and networks into the room, and then to really build a custom bespoke collaboration in Boston that is going to deliver what we need and be sustainable in the long term. Part of that has been to make available city funding in order to support the organizations who are going to partner with us to do this work. And so today, I'm here to announce the recipients of more than $4 million of that grant funding and to thank them, because this first set of organizational awardees will train our students and our residents for specific in-demand industry positions, building career pathways that empower our communities, and particularly those residents without four-year degrees to immediately step into these jobs, with a focus on lifting up workers of color, immigrants, women, and families right in Boston. Each of these organizations has built close relationships with employers, ready to interview and hire our graduates, and this funding round alone is supporting more than 400 residents who are taking their first step to a career in this thriving industry. So I'm going to list them all out. We're so grateful that these are part of the Boston ecosystem. The awardees to build these training pathways are Bunker Hill Community College and Mass General Brigham. Thank you, President Edinger. BioVersity and Mass College of Pharmaceutical Health Sciences. Thank you, Zach Stanley. Where Zach went. Just to Start. Quincy College with Bioprocessing Group. The Franklin Cummings Institute of Technology. Thank you, Dr. Francis. Roxbury Community College with Mr. Richard Taylor and the Nubian Square Life Sciences Center. And Mass Bioed. We will also be investing in a workforce intermediary, a collaboration between Year Up and Mass Bio to establish an inclusive network of employers, training, education, and community organizations with influential Boston stakeholders. Together, Year Up and Mass Bio will leverage this network to improve employment outcomes for all our residents, especially those who have been historically underrepresented for work in the sector in the life sciences industry in Greater Boston. So thank you to Gerald, to Ellen, and Kendall for your commitment to making inclusive employment in life sciences part of the DNA of this industry. And I'm very, very grateful that we've built this intermediary in close partnership with Secretary Yvonne Howe, Secretary Lauren Jones, and the Massachusetts Life Sciences Center, represented today by Jean Leclerc, because of the strength of our sector together. And thank you to all the folks from the Bloomberg Center for Cities at Harvard, which provided the initial support for us to be able to coordinate, map out all that we would do, and now we're in the process of implementing and executing on that plan. Thank you to Maria Daniels, Helen Hendrickson, and the rest of the team for all their hard work. This is the city where one of the COVID-19 vaccines was invented. This is a city where President Biden announced his cancer moonshot, where the federal government announced their new ARPA-H hub, and most recently, where researchers developed a breakthrough treatment for the long-overlooked sickle cell disease and advances that can change how the entire world manages pain. This is also a city where, right across the hall, the next generation of our scientists and innovators are hard at work to get ready to step into their leadership roles. I am so excited for our residents to be reflected fully in this work and for this industry to grow to be the very strongest that it can be. Thank you to everyone. And now it is my honor and privilege to welcome someone who has done so much to ensure that we maintain our leadership on the global stage, as well as continuing to grow roots in our neighborhoods, Kendall O'Connell-Berlin.
Thank you so much, Mayor Wu, and thank you, Reshma and Stacia, for hosting us here at Vertex, one of MassBio's wonderful member companies. I am so excited. This is such a celebratory moment for our efforts around workforce. I lead the Life Science Trade Organization here in Massachusetts. We're the best place in the world for life sciences. We're also the best place in the world for collaboration and partnership. And we're leaders. We're leaders not only here in Boston for other cities and towns around the state, but leaders for other states. So thank you, Mayor Wu, for Trinh, Mike, for your leadership. It's incredible to have visionary, motivated leaders at the helm of this wonderful city. And I've been speaking quite a bit around the country about workforce in life sciences. And our challenges aren't unique, right? But what is unique, again, is our leadership. The way we're doing things, the way we're collaborating, and we're doing this at really fast pace. And so our vision was to solve a challenge, right? We needed more workforce. But we also knew we had amazing people right here in our city, right here in our state. Why would we look anywhere else? So we worked together to create pathways. These pathways will not only solve a challenge to make sure that we stay the best place in the world for life sciences, but they will change the lives of our community. And they will also change the lives of patients around the world. What's more exciting than that? I want to give a special shout out to Zach and Ross Marshall at Bioversity. So couldn't be more proud of those efforts, and thank you to our friends at Mass College of Pharmacy for creating the curriculum. Bioversity is our workforce training center right here in Dorchester, and I think it tells a great story, right? It's in Southline, the old headquarters of the Boston Globe. It tells a story of where Boston is, but more importantly, where Boston is going. And we have a participant in our cohort right now, Josiah, with us here. And let me just tell you a little bit about the demographics of our current cohort. So 100% of our cohort identifies as either Black or brown. Over 50% are women. 80% of our class is from the city of Boston. And this was all possible because of everyone in this room. Our community came together and we worked together to solve a problem. So thank you to everyone in this room. Again, thank you to so many amazing partners, and thank you for your leadership, Mayor Wu.
Kendall, first of all, thanks very much. We're honored that you're to partner with MassBio. They say often, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Well, in this case, we're going together and we're going fast. So we're kind of breaking that paradigm slightly. It's also an honor to partner with the city of Boston, and Mayor, your leadership on this, and I think the understanding of how the public sector, the private sector, and the nonprofit community have to work together to make real change happen for communities. And kind of your recognition of that is incredibly powerful, and Mike Firestone's vision around some of the strategy here has been just breathtakingly good. So you have amazing people, and appreciate your leadership. Look, this initiative, it is a true win-win, right? Companies need talent. We know that. They need the best talent, hungry, motivated. And at the same time, as our industries grow, to have access, to have opportunity, to be able to say, that job which pays for me to take care of my family, to buy a home, right? That is resident here. And we don't have to think, can we do this? This is not a question of can we, because look no further than Vertex to see that this is happening as we speak right now. And it's been, in part, Reshma, because of your leadership, to say not everyone needs a four-year degree to work at a place like Vertex. One might think with scientists, right? These all require degrees. Well, Reshma had the leadership, as many other CEOs will do in our state, thank you, has just done, to say that actually isn't true. right? One's competency, one's capacity is not linked just to, did you have the privilege to get to a 4-year college, right? Remember, we still live in a country where I can predict whether you're going to go to college more by your bank balance than your SAT score. When you hear that, you say that's a challenge, right? And so we're breaking down those barriers in a positive way, but it takes leadership. So Reshma, I want to absolutely recognize your leadership on this. Stacia, who's been fantastic. But it takes leadership to create change, and you're doing that, and it is powerful. The goal here is to build an ecosystem. No one program, no one company is going to do this. So it's humility, the fact that it's a we, not an I, and the fact that we have to engage amazing organizations training. And I look at many around the room, whether it's community colleges, which I love, Benjamin Franklin, others, Bioversity, like, that is great. We need a thriving sector. And we need to coordinate. How does that talent get to companies in an efficient way where the company says, you meet my needs? Because they are for-profit entities as they should be, and they need efficient ways to hire talent. So the goal is to build an ecosystem that's sustained and which scales. Those two things would be the driving force, and frankly, is easy to use, right? Easy to consume. That's what we'll do. Secretary Howe, your leadership and help on this has been amazing, and Secretary Jones, to do this with not only our city, but the leadership of our state matters. That's going to happen and continue to happen. And I just want to say we're honored to be one of the many folks trying to help this. And the success will be when folks raise their hand and say, I'm working here and I just put a down payment on a house. I'm taking care of my family. Right? That's success. Excuse me. And we will see that. And it's because this room came together and said, we're going to make it happen. I'm honored to be here. Thanks so much, Mayor. Thank you for your leadership. Appreciate it. Jean Leclerc, come on up, Masley.
So I'm Jean Leclerc, representing the Massachusetts Life Sciences Center, which is a quasi-public entity, essentially the funding arm of the state government when it comes to the life sciences ecosystem. So we run a range of different programs throughout the year that have funded many of the people in this room, so it's really fun to see some familiar faces and organizations. We're so grateful for your work. We're also so grateful to industry partners like Vertex that are showing such leadership. When we come to the table and we think about the most important problems, the most pressing issues within the life sciences ecosystem, we think about workforce, we think about equity, we think about diversity. And when we look around at the partners that we have and we're trying to put together solutions, it's always so inspiring to see how much momentum there already is. We are never starting from scratch when we're building these solutions because we've been making these investments for decades in many cases. So the partners and the organizations and the community entities that have come together today and that have come together to make this initiative possible and that I know will make this initiative a success are really benefiting from decades, again, of really talented people and really hardworking people who are coming to work every day with this challenge in mind. So at the Mass Life Sciences Center, we have a couple of different programs that we have put together to try to address this challenge as well. And from our perspective, this initiative from the city fits in perfectly with what we're trying to do. The Pathmaker program, which funds training organizations just like Bioversity, as well as the Commonwealth's Mass Talent Program, are trying to do exactly what the city is trying to do on a statewide level. So we are so excited and inspired, and we feel so lucky at the state level and within the governor's administration that we have such strong leadership like Mayor Wu, like the city of Boston, sort of showing what's possible at the city level in a way that potentially, hopefully, will be able to be scaled across the state. And so at the Mass Life Sciences Center, we are looking forward to years ahead of being able to invest in more of these programs and building on the success that we've already created and that, again, these hardworking organizations, really strong company partners have made so possible, and that's what's brought us to today. So honored to be a part of this, so excited for the future, and thank you again. The best part now, we have a recent graduate, or a soon-to-be graduate, joining us to talk about his experience. So Josiah, come on up.
Wow. Just to introduce myself, I'm Josiah, last name Wade Green. I'm an inner city kid from Roxbury. Education was really big in my household. My mom stressed, do your best, try everything. That way you have the experience to, go anywhere you want. So I went to Margarita Muniz Academy, which was a bilingual school, first bilingual school in Mass. And from there, I learned how to play instruments. I learned another language. And the possibilities to learn was just endless there. After high school, I went to foundation year at Northeastern. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was in College of Professional Studies. And that was really challenging for me. I felt like, I didn't have all the tools to be successful in college. So I took the year off after going to foundation year. I worked a bunch of jobs, and I just felt as if working jobs wasn't for me. I needed a career. I needed to stretch my legs, show my intellect, and a flyer was brought to me about Bioversity. I didn't know anything about it. I was a hands-on worker that didn't really like the school setting so much, the classroom setting too much, but I was determined to learn. My aspirations to learn and everything just stemmed from being a kid and having that foundation with my mom, stress and education. So I came to Bioversity because I wasn't in school. I didn't have anything that I felt like was accomplished by me. I needed something that, I was working towards. I needed something that made me feel fulfilled. So, I went through the application process, 120 applicants, and I made it here. During Bioversity, I've learned so much. Like, I've learned that biotechnology is literally for everyone. There's no color in biotechnology. There's no race. There's no age. You could be in biotechnology, and that's what I've learned being here. I've learned new vocabulary, scientific operations, lab operations, and every day I go home and I feel accomplished. I tell Zach and I tell Ross, like, thank you guys. Like, I feel like I've learned something. I feel smarter here. So, sorry guys, I had a little thing here. So to really summarize it, Bioversity offered me an opportunity to learn and contribute to something that was, bigger than myself. Like I said, I've always had aspirations to be successful before Bioversity, but I really couldn't tell you what that success was. But now I can proudly say that I'm applying to career jobs for a career fair later on today within the Southline building to be in the biotechnology industry. While being here, I've learned that, like I said, it's for everyone, and Bioversity has done an excellent job at bridging the gap in information about the biotechnology, information, and community within the urban community. So I would just like to thank Zach Stanley, Ross Marshall, Mayor Wu, everyone that's, brought this together. I just want to say all of you guys in this room are and will be making long-lasting impacts on my life, and I can speak for my cohort here and say the rest of their lives as well. Thank you, guys.
So they tell you in community college president school never to follow a student. Josiah stole my entire speech. Congratulations, Josiah. That was just wonderful. I was so happy today when Reshma started our event today, talking about the students who are in our midst, the ninth graders across the hall, the community college students, and those who are alum working in your midst. Thank you for your trust in community colleges. And I thank our BPS system for giving us the students that we could actually bring to the next level at the community colleges. I laughed earlier today that I work for the mayor. I know we're a state institution, but it is her inspiration and our students' aspirations that keeps me going. So I'm really pleased to be here. So the rest of my speech is going to sound a little bit like a recruitment speech, because all of you are going to help us to find these recruits who's going to come into these programs and to tout how important it is that this is the entry point of something much bigger and much more expansive. And this is a pathway,
not just a point in time. So we are excited to be working with the city on this amazing opportunity. And it gives us a chance to work with one of our closest partners, Mass General Brigham. I know MJ Ryan's in the room, Vice President of, a woman who needs no introduction because she will be calling you to say, how many lab techs do you have that I can have this month? We have had a long history of successful programs training everything in the health professions, from nurses to medical imaging professionals to search techs and CNAs. This time, we are training laboratory scientists to provide the life science workforce essential diagnostic work. If there's one thing we know from COVID, is that the need for trained medical laboratory techs and professionals are increasing dramatically. This program will offer Boston residents access to every single step of the medical laboratory science pathway. This is from entry-level phlebotomists to medical laboratory assistants to medical laboratory technicians. And I have no doubt that at the end of that particular part of the pathway, students will go on to get their more advanced degrees. This may be the beginning of our researchers and those who have the possibility and the potential to come up with our next vaccine or next life-saving solutions. These positions do not require a four-year college. I will never say to anyone, college is not for you. What I'm saying is that post-secondary education is more than the traditional college. This is an entry point. There is no wrong door. The program, in fact, will be also welcoming those with four-year degrees who would like to come back and get this additional set of skills so that they can be more versatile. Certainly, this is a high-wage, high-demand skill. So that's the task, folks. Go out and look for folks who will fit in and call one of us, and we will make sure that the students are placed. I think this close partnership with MGB will ensure an extensive range of employment and advancement opportunities across the MGB regional network. And I really believe that all of the announced recipients of grants today has similar aspirations for all the students and all the communities that we serve. I'm so fortunate that I came back to Boston 10 years ago. I never thought it would be this vibrant and this deliberate. So Mayor Wu, thank you for your inspiration, and thank you for the hard work of your team. This is amazing. And Reshma, thank you for hosting today. So here we go. So I'm supposed to introduce Gretchen Cook Anderson, who is the Executive Director of Lab Central Ignite. So Gretchen? Oh, there you are.
Well, happy Black History Month, everybody. It really is a pleasure to be here with you all. I could not thank you enough for inviting me to share a few words about our piece of some of this amazing collective action that's going on in the city of Boston. Our small but mighty team of change makers at Lab Central Ignite have been really honored, inspired, and delighted to be among the first of the beneficiaries last summer of Mayor Wu's Life Sciences Workforce Initiative. As a novel platform in the life sciences dedicated singularly to addressing racial, gender, and other underrepresentation across talent, entrepreneurship, board participation, and startup venture capital. We're excited to have just celebrated our 3rd anniversary in January in service to residents and innovators in Boston and beyond. What we've known from day one is that we cannot do this work alone. We absolutely none of us can do so. We're also immensely proud to be in partnership with the American City Coalition to deepen the impact of our multifaceted life sciences in full color public awareness and ad campaign among Bostonians across communities historically disconnected from the life sciences, like Roxbury, Dorchester, East Boston, and Mattapan, to name a few. Core to our career awareness raising grant activities with the American City Coalition are targeted ads on local buses, trains, community billboards in the digital sphere, and related social media content. We believe that you have to know about opportunities. We have to know they exist in order to connect. An essential facet of our awareness campaign is our community-centered What the Heck is Biotech workshop series. We're grateful to shepherd these grant-supported activities alongside my wonderful colleague and the American City Coalition President, Reverend Willie Baudrick III, our instructional contributions from Mass BioEd, and creative contributions from Black-owned and Boston-based Proverb Agency, and a host of other community-based partners like the YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, so many, Roxbury Community College, Roxbury Innovation Center, and others. We're moving fast, and we've heard this word fast a lot this morning. We're moving fast, yet with great care and intention, together, to demystify the industry, share the faces and stories of people in the industry who reflect our Black and brown residents, our immigrants, and other underrepresented communities, like scientists Rudy Christmas, who I think has become a little Boston famous lately in the last 2 years, of Colonel Bio, who was born and bred right here in Dorchester. We're also focused on women and the socioeconomically disadvantaged. And it's important to us to illuminate through this campaign and the work that we're doing with the American City Coalition, to illuminate and ignite people's educational and training pathways to join this life-saving field across a range of in-demand roles. Again, it's my privilege and honor to do this work with my amazing and wonderful, passionate team, and so many of you who are here in this room. Thank you so much. So, thank you. I have the delight of welcoming Mayor Wu and Reshma back to the podium. Thank you so much.
I think we have a few minutes for questions for either the mayor. Please toss all the hard ones to her, and I will also serve to help call on folks. Any questions that we can help answer? Mayor Wu.
I'm going to do MBTA-related questions off to the side after.
Thank you. Thank you.